Unburdened by what has been, you know?
What can be, unburdened by what has been.
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 What we can see, what we believe can be, unburdened by what has been.
My mind's going blank now. What's happening? What, I can't remember. I'm gonna lose track. My mind's going blank now. What are you talking about? What the hell's going on here? Where the hell are we? My mind's going blank now. I can't remember. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. What am I doing here? My mind's going blank now. Where am I headed? I keep forgetting I'm president. Where am I? No idea. Last night I was on television. I was on a telephone. Rapidly rising. And with I don't know. COVID has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's why reflected in the NHEI. America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was inflicting we're going to seize the ill-begotten gains of Putin's kleptocracy. Yeah. NATO's purpose is to defend against aggression. Let me make near and dear to you that you like to be able to. Anyway. My mind's going blank now. What's happening? What, I can't remember. I'm gonna lose track. My mind's going blank now. What are you talking about? What the hell's going on here? Where the hell are we? My mind's going blank now. I can't remember. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. What am I doing here? My mind's going blank now. Where am I headed? I keep forgetting I'm president. Where am I? No idea. I don't think as the idea that political coverage of I want to thank and recognize Dr. John Kingersong. That song. I can't get this to function at all. My mind's going blank now. What's happening? What, I can't remember. I'm gonna lose track. My mind's going blank now. What are you talking about? What the hell's going on here? Where the hell are we? My mind's going blank now. I can't remember. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. What am I doing here? My mind's going blank now. Where am I headed? I keep forgetting I'm president. Where am I? No idea.
Welcome back once again. This is Chris Report, and he assured me that since I'm down in Boulders, folks, this is Chris Wyatt reporting from South Africa. Hello, folks. Welcome back to the program. This is Chris live in central Pennsylvania. What is this? This looks like I got punched here. I keep getting this red spot here. Anyway, the ravages of time, I suppose that is. Welcome back to the program. It is Monday, August 19th, 2024. Early news broadcast because at noon Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. South Africa or Central African time, it'll be Fireside with the Colonels with Vin and Titoy and Chris Wyatt. So that will be up right after this. I actually haven't set that up as a link because I was so busy. Let me just do that very quickly before we get into this and I forget to do it. That way, if you don't want to go looking for it, it's okay. It's set up. Cool beans. By the way, thank you to all the folks who rocked up during this weekend's broadcast. For this weekend, for the first time ever, Rugby Ascendant achieved 50,000 views in one day. Wow. Boy, I miss getting 50,000 on this channel. I've got 50,000 on this channel a long time, but get a lot more content. We also last week went over 1 million views on Rugby Ascendant. Woo-hoo, a couple milestones. And on top of that, we hit over 5,000 subscribers. Over 5,000 subscribers, over 1 million views, and over 50,000 in one day. Wow. Boom, boom, boom. From success to success. Thank you, all the folks on there, whether you found the channel because of my appearance as a megaphone rugby or because you've just happened to come across it, whatever the reason. But thank you all for joining me. Gives me hope on Rugby Ascendant. It's a very frustrating thing to put all that time and energy and money into a platform or a channel and then just not get the support. It's been taking a long time. For those of you who've been with me all along on there, thank you so much. And by the way, I actually have in my account still emails from back in the day when I started doing this, just when the lockdown started, and YouTube still sends you emails every time someone subscribed to your channel. And I can identify a handful of you who are actually among the first dozen or so subscribers. It was really fun. I don't have all the emails. I must have missed a few, but they might still be out there in my in folder, and I just never saw them. Wow, it was exciting times. And thank you all. They became so overwhelming, I deleted a lot of them and I didn't keep them. But I've got about 242 of those early messages for subscribers. And it's amazing. Some of those usernames are still here. It's really cool. And some of those folks are still here. Thank you so much for that, being with us all along. It's been a fun ride. It's been interesting. And my apologies for the unintentional punking yesterday. But I was rather melancholy because of the behavior of some folks. I'm honestly, the things that you do, how you help others, and then just you get the behavior of some people, really frustrating. By the way, I've completed most of my research into my initial Forgotten History broadcast, and I'm wondering if I should even start another channel called Forgotten History. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Or should I put on this channel? I'm not sure. And the problem is that people say, well, people don't come to channels that have so many things. But the defining aspect of this channel is actually a daily news analysis and broadcast. All the rest of the stuff is gravy. So I don't think that we have a distractive focus. We do focus on the news. That's the most we've done. I mean, thousands of live streams covering the news over the past 4 years, literally thousands. Breaking stories and also daily news reports. So, and then also thousands of prepared videos too. Arctic says, proves rugby is better than politics. Well, I don't agree with that. Rugby Ascendant started after this channel. This channel has 18,300 subscribers, 350. And Rugby Ascendant just hit 5,000 after over 3 years. It's younger than this channel by only a couple months. And it took a long time to get there. So, let me see what the chat's got to say before we get into the news here. Val Cooper's here. Make my day. Well, in all the excitement, I plumb forgot whether I fired 5 or 6 rounds. So, do you feel lucky, punk? Well, do you? I gots to know. I gots to know. Click. Dirty Harry. One of the best scenes ever in a major motion picture. Also, one of the best scenes ever in a major motion picture I watched last night for the first time in, gosh, so long, The Wrath of Khan. Wow, I popped the DVD in. Boy, the poor quality on the DVD of that video from 1982. But man, oh man. He tasks me. I will follow him around the rings of perdition. Oh my goodness. What a great line. Ricardo Montalban, in his best role ever. That was the best thing he ever did, was Khan Noonien Singh. That was fantastic. The genetically enhanced humans. Anyway, wow, The Wrath of Khan. Good stuff. Good stuff. Great music. Anyway, the Genesis Project. Val Cooper, Fensa Kogelenberg, Charmaine, Keith Alderson, Clive Streak, Teresa, Brian Lawrenson. Tell us something I already don't know. I'll tell you lots of things you don't already know. Biden to get much love tonight at the DNC. Probably, if he can get through it. It won't be a 2-hour speech, that's for sure. By the way, just real quick, I'll give you that who's on tonight at the DNC. Tonight at the DNC, we have Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, the heir to a billion-dollar fortune. Tomorrow, it's former President Barack Hussein Obama, and then it's former President Bill Clinton and little Timmy Waltz, the Minnesota governor. And finally, in the wrap-up, the big name is Vice President Kamala Harris, also known as Kackles. To be announced, Mayor Brandon of Chicago, Senator Dickie Durbin, Senator Tammy Duckworth, and Representative Lauren Underwood. Don't know who that last one is, but all up on the agenda for the Demon Rats convention in Chicago, a replay of 1968 potentially. Fun Sale says, good going, Colonel and team. Yep, I'm fine. Just a little sick, says Vilma. I'm sorry to hear that. Marilyn Brokenshaw's here. Hey, Marilyn, how you doing? And then post the history video on all your channels. No, it won't be on Rugby Ascendant. Oh, my goodness. Vilma's taking whiskey on rocks to treat her illness. You're still an American talking about rugby. We had to be sure you know your stuff before subscribing. And it took you 3 years to know that? That's some serious scrutiny right there. Ulrich Venter's here. Fleshin is in. And Lynette Orr. Welcome to all of you, folks. So, all right, let me explain what I'm talking about. So, it would take a lot of effort in order to do a regular thing, plus a lot of data. I've looked at the cost of hosting a website, and there's unlimited traffic to it. That's the key thing. I didn't want a site where I was going to have to pay for all the people watching my content, because that could be quite expensive. But what is it? So the top AfriHost, I think it is South Africa. AfriHost, I looked at their packages, what they charge, and they charge 717 on Windows, because I won't use Linux, 717 Rand per month, which comes out to about $38 at the current exchange rate. While that's a lot of money, it's only about 5 or 6 of these. So put that in perspective. But that would give me, if I went to Afri Host, that would give me, that's the Platinum Pro plan. I get 50 gigabytes of storage, which is much more flexible. Unlimited email accounts. I can get SQL databases, 3 of those, and Maria databases, which I'm not familiar with. I know Microsoft SQL databases, but anyway, 717 Rand per month. But I'd have to find someone that knows how to run the site that I trust, and I don't know anybody like that. No, who's got the kind of time to do it. Actually, there is Rudy Gedenhuis, but Rudy has disappeared. He used to support Scotty Balson. He disappeared, and I haven't heard from him in 2 years, so I hope he's out there. Anyway, by the way, looking at the number of miles I have on Delta, I might get enough miles to get myself a free trip to South Africa. That would cut out some of the cost of my next trip. I've been asked again this morning, twice when I'm coming back. I'm like, I just left. Anyway, but yeah, so I'd set up a domain. I need a domain name that's unique, that would get people's attention, something that isn't focused on my name. And what it would be is a website that would have different content. It would be much more, not explicit, but more penetrating. I wouldn't hold back on some things that I don't say on YouTube because of the oppressive censorship. But anyway, it would be based in South Africa. And the goal would be to attract South Africans to the site, and would also try to direct them to the YouTube. Now, the distinction would have to be, I suppose, if I made it a pay site, but a very inexpensive pay site where it wouldn't cost you much to join it. But if in order to give you that, I'd have to give you something unique. So anyway, thoughts on that? What do you guys think about that? Yeah, the Linux server is cheaper, but I don't know how to do it, and I'm on a Windows-based system, so I wouldn't be able to get into it, would I? Unless you, unless it's based in Linux, but I'm able to access it from Windows. I don't know, Michelle. But anyway, it's a thought, something I'm considering doing for South Africa. So anyway, just want your thoughts on it. And Arctic says AfriHost sucks. Then why are they rated the #1 host in South Africa? They have unlimited data sites. So you're saying they're unreliable, or are you saying they're unreliable as an ISP? Tonight we will hear how the Libyans got into ZA. Why? Is the ministry going to brief you on that? You do know that ISP South will take down your content if people complain enough. No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I did not know that. You can use PuTTY to remote in the server. All right. Anyway, it's a thought. I'm considering it. It's a lot cheaper than hosting something here. I'd have to look and see what, maybe I could host it in the States. I don't know. It would be faster if I did it from here, that's for sure. Anyway, it's something I thought about. I thought about it in the past, and I just thought the cost was too prohibitive. And the reason I thought it was expensive because a lot of these hosting sites would charge you for the amount of data people went in. I used to have one in Germany like 20 years ago, 15 years ago, and they charged me. I never had a problem with it because not that many people viewed the content, but they would charge me. That was chriswyatt.org. That's not up anymore. I lost that domain a long time ago. I stopped using so. Let me just try that. Used to have a site, yeah, chriswyatt.org. Let's see if it's going to say domain is available. So it's there. Somebody's got it. Somebody took it because it has a lander thing on here. So anyway, but yeah, so it's not showing up. I used to have chriswyatt.org, but I'm not going to do that. Anyway, so it's just a thought. I'm trying to get your thoughts on this. So their client service tier on the help desk is retarded. Okay, good to know that. Kevin says, why do you need to build a website? Because YouTube is a censorship platform, and I'm a little tired of the shadow banning. I mean, at this point, look, okay, I'm not boasting. You don't like the content, you tell me. If you don't think that my news is insightful and that my predictions, which have come overwhelmingly true, whether it's the insurrection in KwaZulu-Natal in 2021, or it is the arrest of Jacob Zuma, or it is the behavior of the Biden regime, take a pick. I've been pretty much spot on in my analysis and my predictions of things over and over again. And, it's also, it's just frustrating. I mean, I see people that don't know what the hell they're talking about and have a huge following. huge following. And I would like to make this a full-time gig, and and wouldn't mind making a little bit of coin off of it and make it easier to travel and have that pay for the travel and have that pay. And I would be able to go around Africa and other places and cover things better. Yep. Ask your guest. Ask what guest? All right, Michelle. Yeah, not right now. It's a consideration. I'm just thinking about it. I mean, I don't want to start something and stop it. And I also don't want to start something that gets shut down. I also don't want to start something that becomes prohibitively expensive. Just thought I'd pop in and let you know that I seldom watch your live streams because of buffering issues. I don't know what's causing it, but it's only your live streams affected. It's YouTube's shadow banning, Derek. It's YouTube. I've had so many people tell me that it's only my stream it happens on. It's not me. I mean, the day it does it. Even if I was using something here on my computer that was causing problems, if it was my end, then nobody would see it without buffering. It would buffer for everybody. But it's clearly not me. It's clearly YouTube. And hundreds, thousands of other users in South Africa, New Zealand, Ireland, Finland, China even, are watching my content without buffering. So it's clearly a YouTube issue, and it affects some people. The other problem is that we have things like Val Cooper was put into purgatory. She wrote to me, she's like, how come I can't chat? I'm like, what are you talking about, Val? And so I went in and I looked, and she wasn't blocked. I went through every one of the blocked accounts, mostly fake ones out there, ridiculous names, and she wasn't there. She was very patient for like 10 days, something like that, telling me about this, and I was puzzled. And this isn't the first time it's happened to somebody. And then finally, I went back in there when we were on, I think it was Gareth Cliff, the network, the real network, whatever they call themselves. And I went in there and looked again because Val and I were chatting. I could see she was chatting on there, so clearly something was wrong. And there was her name. I found it. It was blocked. Wasn't there, and you're going to say you missed it. No, I didn't miss it. It's pretty obvious. It was a green avatar like she's got right now. And she was blocked. I didn't block her. None of my mods told me they blocked her. I have no reason to believe any of my mods lied. And even if they had lied to me, it wouldn't matter because she wasn't there the first time. So it's just the games that YouTube plays. Now, I don't know if it's a tech problem, but it's very frustrating. It happens a lot, and it's very frustrating. Also, the thing where they take words out. Now, the P word is blocked on my channel, as is the N word. You can't put that in chat. That's blocked by YouTube. I put it in there. I chose that. But most words aren't blocked, and YouTube comes in and censors people on my channel all the time. It's really frustrating because there's nobody actually saying, I mean, no one's calling for genocide. No one's calling for racist action. No one's calling for people by names, horrible names. None of that's happening on this channel, either in the chat or by the content creators. So why they're so demonically possessed about putting a hammer down and frustrating this channel is beyond me. Anyway, so Germ is TNT. Germ is not TNT. He's off that network, or did he get back on TNT? Reach out to Germ and then block him. No, that's not a, no, POES. That's what's a blocked word. Patreon is a socialist leftist censorship platform based in San Francisco. I have an account. It's been a while since I've been in there. Let me just go make sure I still have an account. Patreon, P-A-T, Patreon. It's been a few months since I've been in there, so they might tell me I'm logged out. Oh, no, there we are. Soon Apple will stop supporting your billing method and start charging fees. Well, I don't use Apple to bill. What to expect, okay? Subscription billing is used in the majority of creators on Patreon. It's also the only method that Apple will support starting in November of this year. You can choose when you like to switch subscription billing. I don't use Apple. Right, I have a total of 2 members on my Patreon account. Here's my Patreon account. I don't put much content on it. I just have an account because I'm an early adopter of things. But there's Patreon. It's Chris Wyatt Africa. Let me see. Does it take me to the channel? That's my inside waste. This is not what you guys are supposed to see. So Biden drops out. So July 22nd, I put one on here. So yeah. Anyway, but that's not what you see on Patreon. So Rossi, Rugby ATL, Memorial Day in Georgia, Memorial Day preparations. That's from 3 years ago. Yeah. And it takes you to YouTube because Patreon doesn't let me put content there. It just lets me route you to other places. So that's what that is. Yep. So I do have a Patreon account. I've had Patreon, I have Subscribe Star. Let me find Subscribe Star. Subscribe. Now I have a Kick account. Subscribe Star. Here we go. Subscribe Star. Okay. Chris Wyatt Africa. I don't want a profile page. I want to see the channel. Where's the channel at? Okay, that's silly. I don't care about your success stories. I want to go to my channel. Okay, go to my profile. Let me see what it takes to my channel. Okay, there you go. Chris Wyatt Africa. I put something in there in March this year. Is the last time I put something. Subscribe star. So yeah, it was Donald Trump. Will he be charged? That's last year. Okay. All right. So yeah. Oops. This one. Battle brief. That one's gone. I don't know why that one's gone. Anyway. So yeah. So I have all those things, but big de whoop. Whoop de whoop. Whoop de whoop. Almost a month since that boot up my backside. Yeah, okay. I think Yanni had something to do with Germ's channel. Blockchain may be involved. Yanni Fundevout? Okay, so straight up analysis is comma drunk. Okay, so Kevin, again, Rumble. I have Rumble. And again, nobody goes there. I put a lot of effort into Rumble and nobody went there. I mean, I asked people to come join this channel and they join it. But I asked people to go join Rumble and they don't join it. Ad free with Rumble Premium. No, I don't even get any ads now. Why would I go ad free? My channels. Here we go. I have 4 channels: Chris Wyatt Africa, Liberty Under Assault, Rugby Senate, and Paladin for Honor. But the only one I really put a lot of effort into is Chris Wyatt Africa. And here it is. A whole 662 followers. Wow. Look at this. 352 views, 171 views when I interviewed Neil DeBeer, 166 views. I mean, it's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. 47 views. All the time and effort I put in this. Alex Newman, very well-known person, 139 views. Brandy Wells, 161 views. That's, I used to have, I have locals too. So I have all this stuff. None of it catches on. None of it catches on. The problem with all those sites is that you only are big on those channels if, one, you were already established before 2019 when the censorship came into play, or if you're already famous by then and then you went to a different platform. Otherwise, you just don't get it. Okay, all right, so can I just like your profile, Scott? You can just like my profile anywhere you like, Matthew, anywhere you like. If that makes you happy, you are welcome to do it. 55 votes, I'm going to end the poll. 24% said maybe, so, okay. 12% said no, okay, all right. Well, yeah. You have to simultaneously broadcast on all platforms. Yeah, restream, it's... Which platforms? The problem is the broadcasting software doesn't let you do that. So USA wakes up when we are asleep. That's why I usually YouTube instead of Rumble. We need more South Africans on Rumble. Yeah, Paul, but I mean, I live streamed on Rumble and nobody came. And it was your time, not my time. So anyway. All right, so. All right, let's get to the news, folks. I got a lot of news to cover before we get to the next event, which is, of course, Vin Tutoy and myself on Fireside with the Colonels. Right, let's get into it. Here's the news today. The police minister in South Africa, Mchunu, is besieged by crime victims in Port Elizabeth. And these fake generals sitting up there, incompetent boobs for the Eastern Cape. Look at them, all those stars on their frickin' collars, and they've never accomplished anything in their life. Hundreds of crime victims and community leaders on Friday rocked up at Soweto on Sea Multipurpose Center in Gbera to talk to Police Minister Senzo Mchunu. People queued for hours to hear Mchunu. It's like a Trump rally to talk to the police delegation. Their stories were so heartbreaking that senior officials went outside to immediately start taking statements from community members who shared their frustration in getting access to law enforcement. We are under siege, Nelson Mandela Bay Mayor Gary van Niekerk said. Kidnappings are now happening almost weekly, as are attacks on churches. We must take the kidnappers head on, said van Niekerk. We need all of our armed forces to tackle this, the mayor said. We also need intelligence services. No, you don't. Gary van Niekerk, you know what you're talking about. Shut up. You don't need the military gunning down extortion gangs. That's not the role of the military. You are quickly going to cause all kinds of problems societal that will have repercussions beyond belief. The problem with South Africans, and this is ironic for a colored South African to call for the use of the military to quell crime. South Africa has a very dark history of the military being involved in policing the townships. I'm not attacking the SANDF. I'm just saying it's a dark history. And there's truth and lies on both sides of the argument. But the bottom line is that is not a solution. The military should never be doing law enforcement functions. It is not their role. It's already an arduous task enough to expect them to patrol the border, but that is a national security issue. So the military should not be doing this. And I'm not alone in this. No less a personality than the Deputy Minister of Defense, Bantu Holomisa, has said the same thing. We're going to talk about that shortly. But Gary van Niekerk doesn't know what he's talking about and should shut his mouth. This is a dangerous, dangerous path to go on. Very dangerous. Well, I noticed now that we're half hour into this. We got 75 here. That's pretty good for this hour because we went early. But that lunatic that pastor who kidnapped those children out of school with a rifle and a panga and threatened people trying to stop them from kidnapping those little boys, apparently had another rifle in his boot. Wow. Controversial pastor Paseko Mboro Motsaneng had another rifle in his car boot during the fracas at the primary school in Caledonia earlier this month. The National Prosecuting Authority made the claim during a second day of the bail application. Wow, for him and his 27-year-old son and bodyguard Clement Kamalat Boloy. They were arrested after videos emerged of them wielding a panga and being escorted by an armed entourage while entering a primary school. Yeah, but this is allowed in South Africa. This is tolerated by the ANC. That's why things are so bad. The ANC has sent a delegation out to 11 regions of KwaZulu-Natal to try to figure out why their party did so poorly. Look at Fikile Mabulula starting to get that little Hitler mustache. You see that? I don't know if you can see that on your screen, but it's a little Hitler mustache right under his big-ass nose. Oh, boy. ANC visited all of its 11 KZN regions to talk to leaders in the provincial office. Regions and branches determine what went wrong in the elections in which the party suffered losses. Let me tell you what went wrong. The ANC went wrong. And Jacob Zuma went wrong. Jacob Zuma killed the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal. Not nationally, but in KwaZulu-Natal, they destroyed the ANC and the EFF. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. And the DA held its own, so that was impressive. But the ANC, you lost because you are disconnected, you are dishonest, you are disloyal, you're disengaged. You're just the dis party, the dis everything, disengaged, disloyal, dishonest. That is the ANC. That's why you lost in KZN. And as I said, Major General Bantu Holomisa agrees with my assessment. Deploying soldiers is not the solution on the protection racket syndicate. Yep, he calls on cops and crime intelligence to do their damn job. Deputy Defense Minister Bantu Holomisa does not believe intervention by soldiers is the answer to solving the protection fee syndicate, which has led to some businesses closing in the Eastern Cape. The Mtata Ophthalmology Medical Practice announced its permanent closure last week. The closure was attributed to hostile criminal activities in the area. The problem protection fees has been around and in that town and other areas, Eastern Cape and South Africa in general. The new police minister, when we were at the Lekgotha cabinet meeting, I briefed him about the situation in Port Elizabeth and Mbata. He went to the Eastern Cape and was accompanied by the premier. I assumed that after he was satisfied himself and heard from the community, he should be in a position to produce a plan of execution on how they will address the problem. But we're waiting for that plan. To be fair, it was last Friday. Well, an acting judge implicated in more corruption in South Africa. Say it ain't so, Joe. That's right. Acting judge allegedly spent corrupt money on 16 million rand Belito mansion. Boy, the theft, the outright theft, these rapacious thieves. By the way, and this is not a racial comment, because it's inevitable that most of these thieves will be black because the ANC is a black supremacy party and most of its patronage network is black. There are white patronage hires, but this endless stream of thieving black South Africans stealing from all South Africans is getting a bit annoying and nauseating. A well-known Durban lawyer and acting judge who allegedly received millions in corrupt payments from Maluti Water used the cash to buy his neighbor's house, demolish it, and build himself an opulent 16 million mansion in the upmarket suburb of Belito, outside Durban. Ralph Sitembiso Mnanga allegedly spared no expense on his expensive home, paying top dollar 735,120 rand for an extensive audiovisual system that included a dedicated home theater, in-ceiling speakers in 7 rooms, motorized TV lift, and sound bars for the kids' playroom. Now let's take a look at what he did here. So here you go. Architects, over 200,000 rand. Studio architects, 137,000 rand. Electrical fee, 227,000 rand. Aluminum glass, 800,000 rand. Audio architect, 735,000 rand. Interior designs, 800,000 rand. M&M design, 539,000 rand. Steel, 100,000 rand. Look at that. It just goes on and on. Concrete, 800,000 rand. Unbelievable. Here's payments made, and those are the dates from 2020 to 2021. 630,000 rand. That's a separate activity of his. And he used this way to launder money to himself. Unbelievable. Yep. Unbelievable. But it's just an everyday occurrence. No wonder South Africa's in the shitter, because all the money's been stolen. And we've been saying this over and over again. Well, racist in the Black Business Council. Why does South Africa, majority black nation, need a Black Business Council? For what? To suppress whites, Indians, and coloreds? Why do you need a Black Business Council? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You have the upper hand. You control government. You control everything. If you're basing everything based on skin color, why do you have a business council based on skin color? That is racist. That is exclusionary. That is bigoted. That is separate development. That is apartheid. That's what that is. That is apartheid, separate development. The Black Business Council, much like the Black Congressional Caucus. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And they're dismayed that ABSA, a private corporation, the Ally Bank of South Africa, would hire a white man to be in charge. This is what we call blatant, in-your-face, and nobody complaining about it, racism. The Black Business Council said that it's disappointed that ABSA had chosen to appoint another white chief executive as its interim CEO after Ari Rautenbach decided to leave the bank prematurely. On Monday, ABSA said that Rautenbach would vacate his position 2.5 years before his contract was up. They announced Charles Rusin would take over as interim CEO until effective October 15th, And they have a problem with that. The Black Business Council, racist, have a problem with him. Why? Wouldn't the Black Business Council be concerned that ABSA is run well and the most competent person is doing the job? Isn't that important? As after all, that would provide likely more profit to ABSA and provide more credit for South Africans who need it, including Black South Africans. So why would the Black Business Council have a problem with a white man being picked unless they, of course, are racist? What else would they be but racist? Yeah, there you go. Well, the 14% pay rise for domestic workers has not been enough as the inflation has eaten their income apart. Domestic worker platform Sweep South has published its latest report on the working conditions and earnings of domestic workers in South Africa, showing that many are struggling to meet monthly national minimum wage despite a 14% rise from 2023. The survey showed that domestic workers in the country still earn on average much lower than the monthly national minimum wage, with female domestic workers at $3,349 a month and male making less at $3,059. Now that's up from $2,900 and $2,800 in 2023, a 14% for women and an 8.8% rise for men. These increases are significantly higher than inflation, but of course they're lying about inflation, and far higher than marginal increases. However, despite that, people are still struggling. And in February this year, the national minimum wage was hiked another 8% to 27.58 Rand per hour. Ladies and gentlemen, that's just a little over $1 per hour. It's about $1.40 an hour, U.S. Minimum wage here is $7.25, if I'm not mistaken. Wow. So 46% of domestic workers are earning below the national minimum wage. And here are some sample surveys of what cleaners getting $3,300 a month, gardeners getting $3,100 a month, childcare $3,400. That's the best paid. Elder care $3,300 and cooking $3,400. Most domestic workers have a single primary role. Childcare and cooking are the most lucrative roles. Lucrative is a generous term. None of those are lucrative. 3,000 Rand per month. That's nothing. Well, a new mall is going up. There you go. Louis Trichardt. According to McCormick Property Development, the mall will open in a month and 7 days from the date of publication, meaning that it should open on Thursday, September 26th. And there it is. Doesn't look like a particularly large one, unless they've filled in that spot there on this side, but that's probably a parking lot. 9,200 square meter centers located close to Louis Trichardt in the northern part of Limpopo. Louis Pretorius, a partner of the architecture company, said it is designing it, said the mall will serve a large catchment area. Okay. All right, there you go. Let's see. McCormick Property is developing a big mall in Louis Trichardt, or also known as Mercado. Yep. Well, ship captains have been warned about containers falling off of French ships. French cargo ships have lost containers. 99 off of Richards Bay. Good Lord. The navigational warning has been issued to sailing vessels off the East Coast after as many as 99 containers fell off a large container vessel. It's the second time within a month that a large number of containers have been lost overboard involving the same France-based company. The South African Maritime Safety Authority warned local ship captains to remain vigilant and report container sightings. Both incidents were related to adverse weather conditions caused widespread damage along the coastline in July and August. The latest incident involved the Maltese-flagged container ship CGM Bellum, which suffered a stow collapse on Thursday, resulting in significant container loss. Wow. The vessel had sought refuge at Maputo Bay. However, further assessment decision was made to redirect the ship to Port Elizabeth, where it lost 99 containers. So what was on those ships? Were your personal effects on there? Was there food you're waiting for? Were there photos of people's loved ones being shipped to another location? Were there cars on there? What were in those containers? And now they sit at the bottom of the ocean. Will they be heaved up? What is going on there? Wow. Unbelievable. Well, let's talk about something a little more exciting here, folks. For those in my audience, you skinflints that have all the money or too cheap to give me a super chat, this next story is directed at you. Not for most of my audience who are struggling and suffering through the inflation-induced comatose economy created by Joe Biden and Kackles Harris over the past 3 years globally. But those of you with the big bucks, those you know who you are, you cheap bastards. I don't see any super chats. No super chats for these cheap bastards. But for those folks who can afford it, how about this? Mercedes E-Class. Wow, absolute tech madness. Includes 3 screens and 21 speakers. You can jam on that. That's a car made for caters, 21 speakers. Mercedes-Benz recently launched its latest E-Class model in South Africa, backing an impressive assortment of tech. Wow. The tech experience begins upon entering the car, which can be done with a digital key on a smartphone rather than a physical key fob. Well, screw that. You steal my phone, you can steal my car, forget that. Once inside, your attention will quickly be drawn to the dashboard super screen. 2 large touch displays behind a single sheet of glass stretching from the center of the cabin across the passenger side. Wow, look at that. Looky there. The first 17.7-inch screen in the center is a rectangular infotainment display and all the apps and settings that the driver would need to access. You see that? Now, I have a secret to share. The Mercedes E-Class that has this huge screen, I've driven one. My neighbor, an elderly gentleman in his mid-80s, has one, and he doesn't like to drive. And so twice now he's asked me to go someplace with him, and I've gone, and he gave me the key fob and said, you drive. And I've driven it. So let me tell you about this car, at least the version here in America. That screen goes all the way across. It displays an incredible map when you do the GPS and you look at the map. It's absolutely incredible. The car talks to you. It does everything. It adjusts everything. So we went the other day, went to get some dinner. He and I went out, and he was trying to be clever. He said, here, let me do this. And he went up on the screen while I was driving, wasn't paying attention. Next thing I know, I'm getting a massage as the roller bars are going up in the back of the car. They're coming in and out. I was getting a back massage while I drove. Unbelievable. No, Marilyn, it's not ugly. It's not ugly. Look, I mean, I'm not a huge Mercedes-Benz fan. I've driven many of them over the years. I will tell you this. It is not ugly. When you're in the car, it's lovely. The one he has is electric, though. So anyway, but an unbelievable car. So super screen. Yep. Second 12.3-inch display on the passenger side can run a wide range of apps. Yep. Blasting Burmeister audio. Audiophiles will get a kick out of the car's sound system, which boosts a whopping 21 Burmeister speakers with an output of 730 watts. Boom, 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 boom. Super bass. It's Nicki Minaj on super bass, man. Ah, man. E-Class boasts facial recognition technology that identifies the driver after they enter the car and adjusts the driving information multimedia and communication systems according to their preferences. Wow. It has active brake assist, active parking assist, remote parking assist, memory parking assist, active emergency stop assist, active stop and go assist, digital logbook app, driver assistance package plus, evasive steering assist, guard 360, pre-safe impulse side, and pre-safe plus. But I will tell you this, the insurance is outrageous on this car. Val Cooper says rocks and icebergs are bad. I disagree. I think rocks are lovely. I love rocks. I wouldn't mind being a geologist, especially granite. I love granite. And I also like icebergs. I just don't hang out around them. Slow Puppy says, agree, military, not police. Police training, equipment, and poor management are the issue. However, lack of political will and true community policing is the problem. Correct. News 24, justice for Devaney's angry parents and residents protest as murder accused teen. Yeah, but I didn't want to cover that story. I covered her murder twice now, and I didn't want to talk about what happened in the courtroom because we talk about it coming up. Rocks and icebergs are bad. Enough at sea. Oh, I see what you're saying. Now there's containers are dangerous. Yeah, now you containers under the water. Well, the South African Health Department has called for calm. Oh, there's a super chat from Ernst. Thank you, Ernst. 100 Rand. 100 Rand would buy coffee, absolutely. And it would pay 1/5 or 1/7 of the cost of a server in South Africa on AfriHost, which apparently is not a good plan, according to Arctic. And I'll trust his judgment on that, even though he owes me some ruvos. Still waiting for that. But South Africa's health department says, monkeypox, calm down, take a breath, monkeypox, monkeypox. Monkeypox. The Department of Health has called for calm after the World Health Organization declared monkeypox a public health emergency of international concern. They said it's considering a number of pharmaceutical interventions, which include additional treatment and jabs. And the decision will be informed by the epidemiological data. Total number of positive cases recorded in South Africa stands at 24, including 3 deaths, 19 recoveries, and 2 active cases undergoing home isolation. 12 of the cases were in Gauteng, 11 in KwaZulu-Natal, and 1 in the Western Cape. Monkeypox. No, thank you. I'll pass. Well, there was a big turnout for SADC Summit in Harare. All but 3 countries showed up, SADC members. The only ones that didn't show up were Zambia, Comoros, and Mauritius. This is the best attended SADC Summit in ages, despite the human rights abuses of the criminal regime in Harare. Ivory Coast has bought Chinese armored vehicles. Yep. Additional Chinese armor. They've become a key partner for Cote d'Ivoire, providing military training, equipment, and technology as the United States retreats from Africa. Ivorian military have acquired additional armored vehicles from China to enhance their combat lethality to use against their citizens because there's no threat to their sovereignty. Yep, they showcased their new Chinese-made vehicles, which look very similar to some Western ones. Primary armament is a 105mm high-velocity cannon, which can fire a variety of ammunition types, including HE, heat, and armor-piercing, fin-stabilized, discarding sabot rounds. Yep, so Cote d'Ivoire turning to the Chinese. Ghanaian politicians are drawing fire for making noise ahead of December's elections. Yeah, stoking tensions as Ghana prepares for the December 7th presidential and parliamentary elections. Rising political rhetoric and growing unemployment crisis threaten to destabilize the nation's process. Stakes are high for the new Patriotic Party, seeks an unprecedented 3rd consecutive term, while the opposition National Democratic Congress is determined to reclaim power. Wow, unemployment is at 14%. Boy, South Africans would kill for 14% unemployment, wouldn't they? They just love that. I mean, there'd be a party in South Africa if unemployment was just 14%. Nick Muller says, Awe Masakina. Good day, welcome to you. More than 18,700 confirmed cases of monkeypox in Africa since January. My goodness. To date, 3,101 confirmed and 15,000 suspected cases. Oh, they lie. They weren't confirmed. Only 3,000 confirmed cases of monkeypox. It ain't nothing but a thing. Just chill. Well, Equatorial Guinea officially joins the pipeline. That's right. It's a pipe dream. This is a pipe dream of a 5,600-kilometer West African pipeline to Morocco to sell gas to the Europeans. 5,600-kilometer pipeline. Transiting Nigeria, where there's multiple conflicts going on. Transiting another Sahelian country, whether most likely it'll be either Mali or Niger, one of the two, probably Mali. And then continuing on to Algeria and up to Morocco. All places full of conflict from Tuareg rebels, criminal syndicates, Al-Qaeda-backed groups, and other terrorists. And they're going to build a 5,600-kilometer pipeline. This is what I call a big pipe dream. The completion date, 2046. Equatorial Guinea officially joins the mega 5,600-kilometer Morocco-Nigeria gas pipeline project, the world's longest offshore pipeline. Oh, it's offshore. Oh, I have to take back everything I just said. If it's not going through, it's going under the ground. Wow, they're going to put it under sea. So then it won't go through the terrorist domains of Mali, Niger, or Algeria. Well, I have to reassess that. So 5,600 kilometers of underwater pipeline on West Africa? Yeah, that's going to happen. Once the Morocco-Nigeria gas pipeline project is complete, it's expected to extend more than 5,600 kilometers across several countries of Africa, allowing... Well, how can it cross the countries of Africa? See, that's what I read. So how is it? It can't cross the countries of Africa if it goes underwater. There's no underwater route to get to Morocco except through the ocean. Represents an unprecedented opportunity to diversify energy sources, strengthens the energy security of African countries concerned, while offering a potential export to European markets. Okay, multi-billion-dollar project. Yeah, 25-year estimate in 2017 is when they estimate it to be completed by 2046. So it ain't going to be completed by 2046. This is a what we call pipe dream. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Well, Nigeria's military, I reported on this back in 2020 when the U.S. government finally acceded to allow the Nigerians to purchase Super Tucanos from a Florida-based company building these aircraft under license from Brazil to ship from the U.S. Army, not the Air Force, from the Army, to Nigeria in order for them to deal with the crises and with the threats to their stability in the north of the country. We prevented this in 2015 under the corrupt Obama regime. claiming that Nigeria was guilty of human rights abuses. Well, it was a bogus claim at the time, in my view, but I was serving uniform. I couldn't say anything about it or prevent it. So, in 2020, we allowed the sale to go through, and Nigeria had them. They have now surpassed 10,000 flying hours in the Super Tucano. Nigeria's A-29 Super Tucanos achieved 10,000 flight hours. The Nigerian Air Force A-29 Super Tucano light attack aircraft recently surpassed 10,000 flight hours with 12 Super Tucanos delivered to Nigeria. This achievement reflects the Super Tucano's unmatched reach, multi-mission versatility, and proven tactical performance capabilities. Wow, operators and crews from Nigeria contribute to this achievement, logging hours through different mission requirements, including combat, training, special operations, and intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. There you go. So there's the Super Tucano. It is a prop-driven aircraft from a time long gone in aviation. And this is what I have to say. Instead of giving South Africa Grippins, spending billions of dollars, they could have spent a few $100 million and bought something like the Super Tucano, which would have met all of their needs. All of their needs. And that's what Nigeria did. They had no threats from any jet fighters in the area, so they used this prop-driven Super Tucano, which is fantastic and does a great job. This program in November 2018, $329 million foreign military sales contract was reached, and Nigeria bought them from the U.S., 12 A-29 Super Tucanos. Now, all 12 are still operational to my knowledge. They're functional, they're in use, and it's working, unlike the Grippins, which sit on the ground and are cannibalized to get one or two in the air. Wow. $100 million gold refinery completed in Ghana. And once again, as I've told African countries, you need to move up the value chain. Simply producing commodities is not the secret to success. Putting people on subsistence farms is not the secret to success. Thank you, Jan Fillon, 15 months as a member. Thank you. Agent Man Chat Show. Yes, you need to move up the value chain. Hence why Botswana came up with a diamond sorting center. They should move up to the diamond cutting center. But the problem is that none of the people who cut diamonds in Antwerp want to live in Botswana. Nothing against Botswana, but Antwerp has a lot more to offer than Gaborone does. Just saying. So the diamond sorting center moved them up the value chain, kept more of the value of diamonds in Botswana, and benefited the country. Now Ghana has built a gold refinery, which will refine all of Ghana's gold production. Yep, instead of shipping the raw material out. Ghana, on Thursday, opened a brand new gold refinery, the Royal Ghana Gold Refinery, the first of its kind in West Africa, will add more value to the natural resource and generate revenue from a site that was constructed at a cost of $100 million. The Royal Ghana Gold Refinery is set to become the only second in Africa to achieve prestigious London Bullion Market Association Good Delivery Bar certification. Wow. Capacity will be 120 tons a year. They refine up to 400 kilograms of gold per day. Right now, gold ore is just exported in unprocessed form, meaning the country misses out on significant revenue that could be retained through local refining. Yep, this is huge. Huge. Absolutely huge. It's being done with an Indian company. With the price of gold soaring, this made a lot of sense for Ghana to do, over $2,300 an ounce. Well, a Turkish corvette is visiting Egypt in Alexandria as Turkey continues to up its security cooperation across the African continent. The Turkish corvette TCG Kinaliada made a significant visit to Alexandria, where it was greeted by Turkey's ambassador to Cairo, Salih Malutu Sen. Yep, Turkish officials toured the Egyptian Navy vessels, including Gamal Abdel Nasser's ship and the Marusha yacht, during their visit there. Well, they're not the only ones visiting Egypt. Yep. The 46th Chinese Naval Escort Task Force visits Egypt. Latest port visit by the 46th Task Force is part of a recent effort by the Chinese government to enhance its bilateral relations with African countries. Yep. Guided missile destroyer Zhaozhou and comprehensive replenishment vessel Honghu of the Chinese People's Liberation Army Navy's 46th Escort Task Force arrived at Port of Alexandria for the visit. And the Turks were there. And who's not there? The Americans. Waning influence under the corrupt Biden-Harris regime. We're losing influence in Africa. Well, speaking of losing influence in Africa, FOCAC is back on the agenda, folks. There you go, FOCAC. You know what FOCAC is, right? That's this effort by the Chinese to work with Africans. Yeah, that's right, FOCAC. The FOCAC summit will take place to September 3rd to the 8th of this year in Beijing. Yep, it's up again. FOCAC. It's a lovely name, FOCAC. You could say FOCAC. Forum on China-Africa Cooperation. French authorities in New Caledonia have extended their curfew in the face of chaos. More than 2,459 have been arrested across the territory, with 1,331 occurring in police jurisdictions, 1,100 in gendarmerie zones, according to the High Commissioner. Vive la lutte du peuple kanak. French authorities in New Caledonia extended a curfew until August 26th as the death toll from recent riots rose to 11. The High Commissioner of New Caledonia said in a statement that it has eased restrictions on the sale of alcohol, allowing takeaway purchases, but the delivery remains banned, and a curfew from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. is in place until August 26th. Wow. Pacific Archipelago has been engulfed in unrest since mid-May, triggered by a proposed bill to review electoral rules. Yes, New Caledonia. And fascists around the world, in South Africa, in France, in the United Kingdom, in the United States, in Canada, in New Caledonia, are puzzled and confused about why people are up in arms and rioting in the streets. Well, it's because nobody likes the fascist socialist rule that the world has turned to. And it's destroying. Oh, look at that. Get rid of that little. There we go. That looks better. Get rid of that little. Oh, there you go. Tighten up the face. Yeah, no surprise in New Caledonia. Well, the House of Representatives has found prima facie evidence that Joe Biden used influence. He peddled influence. He is a crook. House finds Biden used office to enrich his family and concealed the evidence. Biden committed impeachable offenses by helping his family bank millions of dollars from lucrative foreign and domestic business deals, and then conspired to hide the evidence and obstruct an investigation by Congress, according to House lawmakers. 3 House committees released their findings today after a nearly year-long investigation of the president. Lawmakers made the report public just hours before Biden was to be feted at the DNC. He will hand off leadership of the Demon Rat Party to Vice President Kackles Harris. Despite the findings, Republicans are unlikely to vote for impeachment on Biden. The 291-page report outlines evidence from more than a dozen witnesses and thousands of banking records and other documents combined to show that Mr. Biden, dubbed the big guy, engaged in a pattern of swooping in to help his family, particularly his son Hunter Biden, score profitable business deals with Ukraine, Russia, China, and other countries like Romania, dating back to his time as vice president. Sometimes it was a phone call to a gathering of potential business associates. Other times he popped in at a meeting. But sitting down just long enough to exchange pleasantries or phoning in to talk about the weather, Mr. Biden helped secure millions of dollars in profits that fanned out across his family. According to bank records cited in the report, foreign business partners paid $18 million to the Biden crime family from 2014 through 2023. This is while he's president. While he's president, he's peddling influence. This is an impeachable offense. These are criminal acts, and Joe Biden must be charged and prosecuted for these crimes when he leaves office in January. Absolutely. Criminal Joe Biden. Well, Kamala Harris wants to destroy America by encouraging criminal alien invaders to pop out children and give them $6,000 tax credit. Now, that tax credit is not a lower tax bill. That's tax dollars given to people for populating the country. Why? We don't need this. Yep, this is ridiculous. This is the stupidest thing that was ever put in the tax code. Kamala Harris wants to expand the child tax credit and give new parents $6,000. Why? Why should people be rewarded with money from my wallet so they can have children? Why am I subsidizing other people's decision to have families? That's bullshit. That's wrong. This fascist communism must be stopped. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the Democratic National Convention, which begins today in Chicago and runs through the 22nd. Oh, it's an exciting event. Let's talk about how inclusive the Democratic Party is, okay? I'm going to give you a list of the schedule for today's events at the Democratic National Convention. You're going to love this. These are events today. All right, here you go. This was posted last night, and these are the events scheduled for today. You ready? From 9:30 to 11:30, the Black Caucus meeting. 9:30 to 11:30, the Hispanic Caucus meeting. 9:30 to 11, the AAPI, Arab Americans, Caucus. 9:30 to 11:30, Native American Caucus. And 9:30 to 11:30, Ethnic Council meeting. Where's the white? Where's the Jew? Where's the That's inclusive? That's inclusive? Black Caucus, Hispanic Caucus, Arab Caucus, Native American Caucus, no white caucus? This is the party of inclusion, the Democrats? Spare me. Racist, bigot, societal dividers should be kept away from the reins of power. Elon Musk's X platform continues to face challenge from advertising revenue drying up as a consequence of a concerted, illegal effort to avoid his platform. Estimated ad revenue dropped by $238 million this year. Advertisers apparently spent almost $774 million on X during the first 6 months of 2024. That comes out to over $1.5 billion for the year. That's about 24% lower than the more than $982 million advertisers dropped first half of 2023. Yep. But the ad business has been in trouble because of this group conspired against the business. Members of the World Federation of Advertisers Global Alliance for Responsible Media, a scumbag monopolistic group meant to harm Twitter, concerned that Musk would do away with established brand safety standards, which were not brand safety standards, they were brand exclusion standards, recommended members halt their ad spending on the site. The group's voluntary membership included Dell, British Petroleum, Electronic Arts, IKEA, Microsoft, and PepsiCo, none of whom I do any business with. According to a recent lawsuit filed by X against the Federation, which quickly shut down so they couldn't be prosecuted, at least 18 companies stopped purchasing advertising between November of 2022, such as CVS Health and Unilever. I don't buy products from either one of those scumbags either. Companies that were not members also paused their advertising, including United Airlines, who I haven't used in 2 years, and Volkswagen, whom I won't buy from, as well as NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Oh, that's racist. Legendary television talk host who pioneered the field of daytime talk shows, paving the way for the likes of Arsenio Hall and Ricky Lake and Dr. Phil and Oprah. Phil Donahue has passed away at the age of 88, the iconic gray-haired silver fox and spouse of Marlo Thomas has passed away. Legendary TV talker Phil Donahue has died following a lengthy illness. The host of the famed Phil Donahue Show passed away at the age of 88 while surrounded by relatives at his home yesterday. He's a trailblazer. His program was the first of its kind, including now commonplace concepts like audience participation. It ran for 29 years. He was 88 years old and had recently been awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom for his storied career. There he is back in the day. The show ran from 1967 to 1996, and it was my childhood. I grew up watching Phil Donahue. It was fascinating. Phil Donahue, gone at the age of 88. Man, they just keep going, dropping off. Well, Kamala Harris finally answered a few questions from the press, and let's listen in on what she had to say, okay? Let's hear what Kamala had to say. You ready for this?
Hi. What you got?
Go ahead, right here. Go ahead.
Hi, thank you. Could you tell us how you're preparing for your speech on Thursday?
Here you go.
Yeah, it's almost done. I mean, there's some little tweaks, and I'm gonna, work on it probably starting tomorrow for the next couple of days. But it's coming along. I feel good about it. I mean, essentially, it's much of what you've probably heard me talk about before in terms of just what I believe to be the promise of America and the fact that we're all in this. And there's obviously a lot at stake, but there's also a lot to feel good about in terms of the future of our country. So there will be a lot that is about what I believe is a way forward, a new way forward. And
she was asked about her economic policy. She didn't answer the question. She just... That is Kamala Harris. And that is the person leading the presidential race. Americans are stupid. Stupid. Millions of dumbass people get the right to vote. They shouldn't be voting. AMD, the chip manufacturer, is buying an artificial intelligence manufacturer for nearly $5 billion in its escalating battle with NVIDIA, which leads the market. AMD chief Lisa Su, boy, all these people we keep bringing in this country to run our businesses. AMD agreed to pay nearly $5 billion to buy ZT Systems, a designer of data center equipment for cloud computing and artificial intelligence. Yep. The deal among AMD's largest is part of a push to offer a broader menu of chips. Now, AMD has been a long time a competitor with Intel and a second-rate competitor at that. They briefly rose in ascendancy a number of years ago, then fell back to second-tier status. AMD has been a chip manufacturer for decades, and they're still around. I'm surprised. Advanced Micro Devices, I think, is what the AMD stands for. Well, customers were kicked out of a restaurant so that paid actors could pretend that Kamala Harris was popular. We're already seeing this now with many social media influencers, black social media influencers, being targeted by the corrupt Harris campaign to force them to say nice things about Kamala Harris, paying them. And many have disclosed publicly that they don't want anything to do with it. Customers at a Pennsylvania restaurant claim that they were kicked out before the arrival of Kamala Harris on the campaign trail. Wow. Customers at the Premianti Brothers restaurant in Pennsylvania were kicked out to make way for paid actors during a Kamala Harris photo op. Wow. There is no organic support. Everything is staged and paid for by the Harris-Walz campaign. Everything about Harris' campaign is fake. Former investment banker John Lefevre wrote on X, prior to our stop at Premianti's, Every single customer was kicked out and replaced with actors. It's all fake and staged. Yep. They are paying influencers, actors, journalists, and pollsters. They can't control what people say or ask. She isn't here to let ordinary people meet, understand, and hear her. It's all about marketing and perception. The problem is cell phones. Yep. Everything about them is fake. Democrats are having trouble finding organic supporters because they don't exist. The whole thing is a lie. Her popularity, her surge in the polls, it's all a lie. It's all fake. Don't fall for it. Caitlin Clark, ladies and gentlemen, I tuned in for a WNBA game yesterday after my broadcast and after enjoying a dozen steamed crabs, Maryland blue crabs, which are an invasive feces in the Mediterranean, but they are cherished here on the East Coast of the United States. After eating my crabs, I watched Caitlin Clark in an incredible performance. She had 9 assists. She could have had 17 assists if her teammates could make layups. They missed so many layups, obvious layups. But what an incredible performance by Caitlin Clark, by everyone on the team. It was amazing. Aaliyah Boston, just incredible. The Clark to Boston is going to be like the Stockton to Malone combination in the NBA. That's what we're going to see here. Clark to Boston. That's going to be amazing. Also, lots of great performances. Lexi Hall, an incredible performance, a career high 22 points, made 6 of 7 3-pointers. A game that was just 1 point difference in the third quarter was run away in the fourth quarter by an incredible Indiana Fever team that is burning up the scene. Caitlin Clark is rapidly becoming one of the best players in the WNBA. There she is. Unbelievable performance by Caitlin Clark. They thumped the Seattle Storm, a team with a much better record, 92-75. It wasn't even close. Wow. 27 points from Kelsey Mitchell, who had a hell of a game all around the court on layups, on jump shots, and 3-pointers. She was amazing. Aaliyah Boston had 15 rebounds and just missed a triple-double with 9 points and 8 assists. But Clark is stirring the drink. She finished with 23 points, 5 rebounds, and 9 assists. But the bottom line is that she is finding people all over the court with incredible passes. And she still has a few turnovers per game, which are a bit troubling. But other than that, Caitlin Clark is the class of the WNBA. Let me say this about the game. The officials in the WNBA are garbage. They are horrible. Women are getting mugged out there on both sides. I mean, people, bang, cut up. Caitlin Clark was knocked to the floor twice, and no foul was called. She did do a fall, doing a layup and tried to buy a foul, but that was pretty weak. But she was mugged consistently. You could see at the end of the game, she was rubbing her left arm where she was mugged out there on the court. She was given a technical foul for no reason whatsoever. It's utter bullshit from these cowardly officials. She wasn't saying anything to the officials. She was disappointed in performance. She walked away because she missed something. She smacked the post, and she got a technical foul for it. It was ridiculous. Unbelievable. But the Paul's also more poorly on the other side. I saw Seattle players who were mugged, fouls given, obvious charges not called, and unbelievable. Players shooting 3-pointers and having their arm grabbed as they went out and nothing being done. The officiating in the WNBA is atrocious. They need to fire all these officials and start from scratch. I mean, high school officials could do a better job than this. I was a high school official back in the day. When I graduated high school, I covered Summer League, and I was a better official than this, and I was terrible. Wow. Anyway, there it is, folks. 81 likes, $5.61 of Super Chat revenue has come in. Thank you for that. And that came from Ernst. Thank you for that. Let me see what I missed in the chat. Rumble's not working. Rumble works, Kevin, but nobody's there. I have 600 subscribers. Nobody's there. Stream on multiple platforms via StreamYard. That's how BDL does it, I think. StreamYard. Well, StreamYard is a very cumbersome application. And maybe I'll take a look at it again, see what's going on. But I have an account there. Yep. So it's not very helpful. StreamYards has access to my Facebook account. Oh, lost access. Reconnect. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Facebook does this crap all the time. Continue. Okay. Yeah, so StreamYards doesn't have access to my Facebook account. Used to. So the problem if I have multiple streamers, I'm going to get shut down on other channels. So, it's got to be careful about that. Okay, it's back. Okay, so it's got it back. There you go. So it's got it. So, okay. I'll have to check into it and see if it's better than it used to be. It used to be crap, though. All right. Who wants the death penalty back? Not in South Africa. I wouldn't trust him. Hey, Shawnee, Sloth Puppy. Where is Chris Ehlers? I haven't seen Chris. News 24 Justice for Devon. Okay, I already saw that. Maryland doesn't like the car. Okay. What else we got here? Diane says thank you. See how long that lasts? What's that? What's wrong with your comments, Diane? I've been seeing them. Impeach him. Yes, I agree. But they won't do it. We can't withhold our taxes. It doesn't work that way, Maryland. Now, I can. I can withhold from my personal income, but they'll come after me. But we have automatic payroll taxes. When you're employed, your employer takes it out. You can't stop that. Congo Chris says, Guten Tag. Hey, hello to you. Global Recession says Matthew. Yep. Okay. I see there's a Concord case questioning racial registration requirements for state employment documents. I didn't see that, Congo Chris. That'd be nice to see. Clive Streak, Leah Minar, welcome. Major Chronic 206, welcome to you. AOC, no. DeBaram is here. Janet Liddy's in from South Carolina. Misty, welcome to you. Oh, my 5 pence, I see you again. Welcome again. Do you support, I kind of want to know, do I support current U.S. to Israel and Ukraine? I don't support any military assistance to Ukraine. It is a kleptocratic state that precipitated a conflict with Russia, and I'm not a fan. So no support for Ukraine. Israel, of course, Israel deserves our support. They're buying the weapons. They're the only representative democracy in the Middle East. Congo Chris says, I'm going to leave because Hendo didn't greet me. An angry Yelp review. That's funny. My comment about the Merckton show. Well, it was probably something that was banned by YouTube. That shows you more of the shadow banning that really affects my program. So many people who watched my program when it came back to South Africa have disappeared. I haven't seen Mr. Fulshank in a few days. I haven't seen Chris Ehlers in several days. Frank Corp has disappeared. So many people have disappeared in the program. Why is that? People's enthusiasm for watching the program ebbs and wanes, ebbs and flows. It's very frustrating. But look, I understand people have lives. They got other things to do. Someone wrote to me. Who's this? Oh, I actually know that person. I recognize that. Keen security issues, so I thought you might enjoy this. Okay, well, got something here. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So, yeah. Anyway, any update regarding... No, I wrote to Ronaldo today, and I have not received a response. No, I didn't expect a response. I sent him a news story about Port Elizabeth. So I have not received a response. So don't know. Don't know. Hopefully I'll hear from him. Yep. Anyway, so Egg Chaser, more views while in South Africa. The Egg Chaser had more views. What's the Egg Chaser? What, some rugby channel? Yeah, that's a rich guy who has a rugby channel. It's I don't, whatever. Matthew has better things to do. Yet he's here commenting. He is a rugby channel. Yeah. I know. I saw his stuff. I wasn't impressed. He goes down to yachts and do stuff. So, yep. Anyway. Well, maybe my content's just not that good. Maybe my predictions, which are almost 100% correct, just aren't that interesting to people. Maybe my analysis isn't that interesting. Maybe they don't like my beard or my voice or my dead sexy eyes. You know, maybe it's something like that. The trend was the same. Oh, I get your point. You're saying that when he went to South Africa, got more views. Yeah. No, that's why I talked about maybe having a South African server. Maybe I'd do it. Strange. I repeated my Merc comment and didn't show again. Well, I don't know what a Mercedes comment. Is that what it was, Diane? I don't know. Matthew says his Super Brew was spot on. Marilyn loves my commentary. Well, thank you, Marilyn. Some people do, but not millions, apparently. Allison's here. Good evening, Allison. How's it going? So you're going to be redirected, folks, after this broadcast to Fireside with the Colonels with Venant Dutoy and Chris Wyatt. We'll be talking about some things. Describe state capture. So that is a kleptocracy. I think plutocracy is more. No, I don't think it's plutocracy. They're not an aristocratic class. This is a kleptocracy. Oh, yes, when I was busy with the E-class. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't see that because it wasn't there. So you don't feel silly about keep going. No, I don't feel silly at Fun South Kokenberg. And I'm going to keep doing it for now. But I really, a lot of people in my position line up lucrative jobs when they've left service and they make a ton of money and they just really have a great life. I'd like the flexibility to buy something like that, and I can do that by taking a job. But anyway, it's I don't have to. So it gives me this flexibility. And I saw just how important it is to some people yesterday when I intimated that I was quitting YouTube, which I'm not doing, and quitting broadcasting. A lot of people Yeah, I now understand, Diane. It didn't show then and not showing again. I don't know why. I don't know what you're trying to say about Mercedes. Did you write Merc or Mercedes? That's the question. Did you write the name out full? Anyway, not sure what you did there. So anyway, excellent. We keep the sport to you. Yes, you almost made caca yesterday. Okay. Well, I don't know what's going on there, Diane. I understand. So Russia is an oligarchy. It's an oligarchy. It's full of oligarchs. Yeah, rich, connected people. They're not stealing. They just get things illicitly. I mean, when you're handed over the entire manganese production, it's just yours. Here's your company. Boom. It's like Isabel dos Santos, Africa's first female billionaire. Not self-made. She was handed all that stuff from Songanal, which was just given to her. Yeah, that's an oligarchy. Yeah, Russia's not a kleptocracy. Kleptocrats are public officials who steal from the state purse. And when they do it pervasively in a coordinated fashion, it's a kleptocracy like Zimbabwe, like South Africa. I wouldn't say we all support the colonel. Some of us troll him. Yes, Matthew, you're bored. You're bored. I didn't say you supported me. Never made that claim. Anyway, yeah, so hopefully we'll have a good conversation with Vena Dutoit. I'm going to pull out my headphones. I put a new battery in those. I'll wear these for it. Switch to the boom microphone of the conversation. That'll be coming up here in a few minutes. About 11 minutes. Fireside with the Colonels. Looking forward to that. I hope you guys are as well. We'll see how it goes. Vedant and I said we do this start again. The original plan was fortnightly, and we did it early on, but we couldn't keep that up. Both have lots of responsibilities and obligations. And then we didn't do it for several months. So we did it once early this year, and then he said, let's do it again. So we did it, and we said, yeah, let's do it regularly. And we didn't. It's been a month since we have done it. Things just, life comes up. Things happen. So E-class stands for elegance. Yeah, I saw that. Wouldn't say we all support. Okay. Marilyn says cool. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the E stands for in Mercedes. I get how BMW does their stuff. The 3 Series, the 5 Series, the 7 Series, those are based on size of vehicle and engine size. So a 323 is a smaller sedan with a 2.3-liter engine. A 525 is a larger sedan with a 2.5-liter engine. So that's how they do it. You think I'm a child. Okay, Diane. I don't know. I don't know. We've seen all kinds of problems, and by the way, we've seen all kinds of things happening here. I need to make a video to draw some more subscribers in because I've stagnated. Important video cannot be monetized. Your video, Kirkwood Farmhouse Torch, Cars Petrol Bomb by Violent Protesters, cannot be monetized due to one or more copyrights. This is not a copyright strike. When is that video from? Let me look this up. Kirkwood Farmhouse. Let me see when was that video made? Copy. That was a while ago. That's in Eastern Cape, is it not? Paste. Okay. Oh, wow. April of 2022. 2.5 years ago, I published a video, and now I'm getting a copyright claim for Adventure Raphael. It's the same music that was public domain. Okay. April, 2.5 years later, I'm getting a copyright claim. Can you believe this? Do you think I'm making it up? Here, I'll show you. I'm not making this stuff up. This is the harassment I get on YouTube every time I turn around. Every day, videos, thousands of videos being attacked. Look at that. Trim the claim part of your video. 45 seconds of that music. Trim it out. Yep, copyright claims. Unbelievable. 2.5 years ago. I've gotten copyright claims on videos that are over 3 years old. It's unbelievable. And it's public domain music. I fight it and I win, but I'm not going to do it when every day I get one of these things. Matthew is leaving. Okay. Icona says, do you know Citizen Concern Shell? Yes, I know it. I think she does some very interesting work, but she's also never responded to my contact. I reached out to her before she really started surging and said, hey, can I get you on an interview? Can we talk? And never heard from her. People keep coming to my program saying, you should have her on. You should do something with her. She doesn't seem to have any interest in me or doesn't know about me or doesn't care. She recently did a video about Ernst von Sale, or Ernst Rutz, in which she said some very inaccurate things and made some fraudulent claims about him. And also her analysis was pretty flawed. I made a video in response to it, and so I don't know if she knows about the video or she cares about the video. I didn't attack her personally. I just her analysis was uninformed, and so I'm I know who she is. You can ask all you want, Icano, but she's not responsive. I have no objection to talking to her, interviewing her, appearing on her program, having her on my program. I think she's a fascinating person. I think she's done a lot, but her attack on Ernst Rhodes was unwarranted, and it was also inaccurate. And I called out many of those inaccuracies in my video. But my video, of course, Shadow Ban only got 7,000, 8,000 views. Let me see the one I did, and when did I do that? So that was a prepared video, and that was, now it's going back a little ways. That's when they were here in country. Yeah, I did on July 18th. I have not even 8,000 views on it. Yeah, 7,900 views, 7,885 views. Yeah, I got 39 subscribers from it. Yeah, but I did get some dislikes on it. Let's see what the dislikes are. I got 22 dislikes, 581 likes, 22 dislikes. 22 people didn't like that I commented on her commenting on him. But what she said was not fair. And of course, I got nonsense like you're friends with Ernst Rhodes. No, I'm not friends with him. I'm just a guy I have on the channel, periodically. So this is what I put out. Citizen concerned, ask a pertinent question. Someone missed the bus. Who does Ernst speak for? Hello, folks. Welcome back to Chris Wyatt Reports. This is a reaction video to who does he speak for? Now, I'm reticent to do these sort of videos, and people should not infer incorrectly at the outset that this is an attack of any sort on the content creator. It's far from that. And of course, I got attacked for attacking her when I never attacked her because people are just demented lunatics. 580 some views on that. Anyway, that's the citizen concerned video. I did answer your question, Icono. You're not listening or you went to the bathroom. I answered your question. I said it a few minutes ago. I said I do not support any financial aid for the war for Volodymyr Zelensky. I don't support it. However, Israel is the only representative democracy in the Middle East and a paragon of freedom, a beacon of light in an otherwise oppressed region. A country that's multi-ethnic, multiracial, multi-faith. Arab members of the Knesset, Muslims in the Knesset, Muslims in the police, Muslims in the military at the high ranks. Anyone can own property. Anyone can own a business there. No one is oppressed. Yes, I support military sales to Israel. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've answered that question. Done and dusted. Geese, what are these, Egyptian geese? They are very annoying. Yeah, here we have Canada geese, and they crap on everything. And you can't shoot them. They're protected. They used to be able to shoot them. It's a shame. Because I'll tell you what, it's a target-rich environment. They fly in friggin', wings of 20, 30, 40, or 50 of these damn things. All you got to do is point a shotgun in the air, and you're going to hit one. Anyway. All right, I got to go, folks. You're going to be redirected in just moments to Fireside with the Colonels. I'll see you there. Thanks for tuning in. And I did answer your question. How you heard about the Project 25 theory or rumor that has been discussed in some news outlets lately? I heard that for the first time. I was wondering. Oh, my goodness. Project 2025 is a Heritage Foundation project for conservative ideas. It's nothing new. It's boring. It's 900 pages long. I have it. I've leafed through it. I'm not going to read 900 pages. Multiple authors looking for fame and glory by putting their articles in there, looking for attention to get published. Donald Trump has nothing to do with it. It's all lies, and there's nothing new here. Nothing new. It's the left trying to come up with nonsense and trying to make things up. They're just ridiculous, shameful people. Read Project 2025. You won't find anything in there that disturbs you. Anyway, all right, got to go. Thanks. Oh, Hadidas. Okay, yeah, those things suck. Those things suck. Those aren't geese, though. Hadidas are not geese. All right, cheers, everybody. See you on Fireside with the Colonels in just a couple of minutes. Thanks for being here. Do appreciate it, and we'll see you there in just a moment. Cheers.